Welcome to Seeing with Your Soul, the podcast aimed to inspire you to find your voice and become the best, truest, and most authentic version of yourself. Spiritually intimate, soul-to-soul conversations, life-changing insights, and spiritual teaching and healing. Real, raw, unfiltered. Join your host, Tisha Michelle.
Welcome and welcome back to another episode of Seeing with Your Soul with me, Tisha Michelle, your host. Hey guys, it feels like it has been forever since I've been on here. And it's so crazy because I took a little bit of time off, to record and to, go through some different things in life, and I was focusing a lot in one area. And then I said, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for season 2. And I launched season 2. And then I take another break. And it's been super, super interesting, right? Because growing up in this world, we're so used to structure, and we're used to doing this. And if you bounce around from jobs, and that means that you're unstable and you need to grow up and you need to get yourself together. And if you say you're going to do this, that's the only thing that you can do. And if you decide to change to do something else, it's kind of frowned upon in a sense. And I'm human, so I go through some of these same, fears that might pop up or doubts, and the ego decides to take over. And in the midst of launching season 2, I pivoted. I started to pivot in life in the direction and where my focus was. And while my focus was there, really, really, really laying down a nice foundation in a particular area in my life, and I started feeling super guilty because, you know what, I did record those podcasts, gearing up to season 2, but I don't want to release that one. I don't, I don't like it. I don't like how it feels, and just making that decision. And then I wanted to record, but I found myself like forcing something. Like, oh, you got to talk about this. Like, well, okay, well, what about this? Well, what about that? And it was no sense of alignment, no sense of flow. And I was like, I can't do that to y'all. I can't just get on here and just talk about anything. And just because I need to put something out there. And even though those thoughts started to go through my mind, I'm just like, no, I don't, it's my show. I do things the way that I want to do them, and that's just being authentic and keeping it 100 with you guys and not forcing anything, and just always, making sure that things flow, because I want to make sure that I am giving the best version of myself to you guys. I understand you taking time and listening to me, to my podcast, and I don't want to waste your time just making up and talking about anything. Right? So if you are, going through something right now where you're feeling like, well, everybody thinks that I should do this and I'm so good at this, but I really think I want to go here. Or maybe you don't even know where you want to go. You just know that you no longer want to really participate in this particular, or thing that you've been doing. I just want you to know that it's okay to pivot. It is okay to pivot. The only person that has the blueprint to your journey into your life is you, alongside with God, but y'all know what I mean, right? So you make the decisions, you make the choices. If you were going this way and you decide that you just want to completely do something different, do it. Do it. Whatever path that you choose is always going to lead you to exactly where you're meant to be. So it's okay to pivot. And during that time of battling, trying to force to record and saying, I got to get something out. It's Thursday's coming up, and then another Thursday's coming up, and, and not putting anything, in, uploading anything new, I just started to feel super guilty. And I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have. That's so dumb. I shouldn't have even launched season 2. Why did I even say that? If I didn't have X and more, I should have did this, or oh, I should have did that, and just being so hard and just down on myself about it. And I just started thinking, I was like, why am I not being kind to myself? Like, why am I being so hard on myself on something that I'm choosing to do? Like why? And then I just started thinking, I'm like, why are we not kind to ourselves like we would be kind to someone else? So that prompted me to write a blog. And I sent it out to anybody that's on my newsletter. And if you're not, and you don't receive newsletters from me and you want to, just make sure you go to my website, healalignedglow.com, and you can subscribe there, right? So, and what I did was I shared 6 ways to be kinder to yourself, because you know why? You deserve it, just like I deserve it. Like, you deserve that level of kindness. You deserve to give yourself that permission to say it's okay if you don't want to record a podcast, or you don't want to post on social media, or you don't want to go to that dinner. You don't want to go to that lunch. You just don't want to. It's okay. And it doesn't matter what the reason is. Your reason is your reason, right? And just knowing that you also deserve to pivot and not feel like I have to go in this one direction and start to feel like you're stuck, because we're never stuck. We're never stuck at all. It's just opening yourself up to being able to pivot whenever you need to, and not feel so guilty for things that you feel like you should do. And I'm doing air quotes, my famous air quotes, because whenever we say should, it's just a belief, and that belief might not even belong to you. So I wanted to come on here and I wanted to share, a few ways that you can be kinder to yourself. So, in no particular order, I definitely say being kinder to yourself would definitely have to fall under forgiving yourself. And this definitely might seem simple, but it's really one of the hardest things for us to do, because if it's somebody that we love, or somebody we're cool with, they make a mistake, like, we're real quick to jump in and be like, oh, like, it's okay, don't worry about it, it's okay. But when it comes to us, we're super hard on our own selves, and like, no, you should have known, you should have done this, you should have done that, and no excuse. How many of you out there have said that to yourself, like, there's no excuse, I knew better, right? There's no excuse. I knew better. I know what I should have done. And when we do that, it's like, you think about the inner child, the little girl and the little boy, and that made a mistake, had an experience, made a choice that wasn't the highly favorable choice in the end, but it's okay. You made your decision based off of wherever it is that you were at, right? So it's really, we want to start with that. It's really to kind of scan some of the things that we have gone through and just say, you know what? I did the best that I could at that moment. I did the best that I could from the lens that I was looking through, and I forgive myself. Another way to be kinder to yourself, definitely have to be really nurturing, like, your physical health. Like, and that does require commitment, whether you are cutting back on eating a particular thing, or you are making a decision to, move your body more than just going from the house to the car, and like vice versa, right? It's a commitment to it. So when we are doing things that we know is going to make us feel crappy, in that sense, it's like, why are you doing that to yourself? So, like, for me, I know that when I eat pizza, my stomach swells. I love me some damn pizza though. My stomach swells. But I know that that's gonna happen, and I know how it feels. And then I'll eat a slice of pizza, anyway, and then afterwards my stomach swells. It hurts really bad. It's hard for me to stand up straight, so for the most part, I'm leaned over, and I'm miserable for at least 2 days. Why? If I truly am loving myself and was just kind to myself and my body, because my body is my temple, because that's how I'm maneuvering and moving through this world, right? Why would I put something in my body that I know that's going to make me feel like shit? And once it makes me feel like that in my body, it trickles over into everything else. My energy is low. I'm fatigued. I'm tired. I'm not in a good mood. And then guess what? I'm talking shit to myself. So then there's that internal battle right there. So when it comes to being kind to yourself, make sure that you're including your body. It's your temple. And this is not to be putting and talking about, oh, make sure you're like going on diets or doing, it's nothing in that sense about that. It's just about really just, taking care of your body. It could just be even also when you get out of the shower, you're just putting lotion on your body and not a rush job. Let me hurry up and just rush because I got to go somewhere. Really just taking time and really just, rubbing your skin, and just nurturing and it just being nice and just saying like, I love my body because without your body, like what you doing? Like how you moving through the world? All right. This one right here is a big one. Getting help when you need it. Man, 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 man. Oh man, that is one of my biggest hurdles that I've had to overcome, and I'm still not 100% there. And that's asking for help when you need it. Asking for help when you need it, whether it's just information that you need, maybe it's an opportunity that you need, like I don't know, it could just be anything, like whatever it is that you're going through, just know that you don't have to go through it on your own. Because somehow the mind tells us that we're on our own and it's so scary to ask somebody for help. If you're like me, it's because I don't want to feel rejected. I don't want that rejection feeling because it's not pretty, right? Especially in your mind if you believe that you were, rejected. So I'm not going to ask anybody for help because if I ask you for help and now I done put myself into a situation to feel some type of way. So why would I do that? Right? That becomes that thought process. But what ends up happening is now I'm super stressed about that. And it's because, okay, I'm not even being kind enough to myself to say, hey, you don't have to take on the whole weight of the world on your shoulders. You can get some help and it'll be a lot easier. Right? So in actuality, I'm really not being kind to myself because I'm allowing myself to go through a struggle or suffer when I don't have to. And it ends up actually being a choice. So you want to add a little more kindness to yourself? Ask for the help. Ask for the help. I was listening to a podcast and Dr. Joe Dispenza was talking about money and really healing in people's relationship with money. And he said, you want to get this, you have this nice business idea and it's gonna, I don't know if he put an amount, but I'll put an amount. It's like $50,000, but you're like, I don't have the money. I don't have the money. So here you are now stressing, saying, well, why would I get this nice idea if I don't have the money for it? And oh, I should have the money, right? And talking really this bad to yourself and saying like you should have had this and all. Well, something that he said, which I was like, yo, that makes so much sense. He said, it's not about the money. You don't need the money. You need an opportunity. I was like, dang, you're right. Because you don't necessarily have to have the money. You just have to have the opportunity to be in that position. And that opportunity, when it presents itself, it's really not going to really come to fruition because you have to make contact with someone. You have to tell somebody what it is that you need. You have to be able to ask for that help. Like, yeah, I have this amazing idea, and I think this could really solve a lot of people's problems while also, providing financial stability for me. However, I'm not in a state right now to have the funds for this. So does anybody like know of any grants or anything? So even just saying something like that is shifting the energy. And now you're also telling someone what you're looking to do. And they might not know about any grants, but they may know about this, or they may want to like step in. Or maybe you need to move. You really need to get out of where you're at, but you feel stuck because you're like, oh, everything is super, costly and it's costing so much more with inflation. And I guess I just have to suck it up and just stay here, even though I'm just, I've outgrown this apartment or whatever the case is. But you don't want to ask for help. You don't want to tap into the resources and the network that you have because just by letting somebody know that you're actually looking to move and you would like to move in this area, they may say like, oh, really? Oh, my brother actually has, took a job somewhere. They're going to be renting out their house. Or my neighbor, da 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 da. Right? It's just really putting it out there, and asking for that help. And that help can come from an opportunity or a connection or an investment or whatever way that be. So do yourself a favor. Be a little more kind to yourself and say, hey, you don't have to beat yourself up because you don't have this or you don't have that. Because what you're going to do is if you don't have it, somebody else maybe that may be something a strength of another person's or a connection that they have, and they wanted to connect somebody with something of this sort. And here it is, you need that, but you didn't put it out there. So nobody knows to even like help you or help you to help them. Right? So definitely being kinder to yourself can come from spending time with your loved ones. It's just that good feeling, like whoever that may be. It may be your mom, your dad, your daughter, your son, your wife, like your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, your friend, your business partner, whoever it is that you feel like that connection with, and then you consider them like a loved one. Just spending time with them, just feels good, and just producing that good feeling is like you're being kind to yourself because you're saying like, here, I'm putting you in an environment and an experience that feels good all around. Like, that's dope. Like, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Definitely, I would say add some self-care, right? If you want to really just be kinder to yourself and produce that feel good feeling, add some self-care. That self-care could be just going out in nature, be getting a massage. It could just be disconnecting from everything and just giving your brain like a break, giving it a rest. Something that I did, different things in my life right now. I said, I'm going to take a piece of computer paper and I'm going to write one particular thing at the top of each page. And then I'm going to go back and write everything that I need to do underneath that one thing. Okay, I need to take care of this. I need to take care of that, whatever it may be. And the reason I did that was because my head is full of so much stuff. And if I can at least get this out of my head and put it onto paper, I might be able to make room for a solution for something that I'm struggling with right now. But keep filling my head up with so much stuff. That's not nice. That's not being kind to myself. I wouldn't pile all of that stuff onto another human being. I wouldn't dump all those things on over there. Sometimes you even might even avoid talking to someone because you don't want to take your air quotes, your troubles, your struggles, or your burdens, and you don't want to put it on another person. But what you'll do to yourself is you'll add all of this stress and all of these problems that we've created in our heads, and the ones that are actually really here, and you've piled all that on yourself. And it's like, no, let's release some of those things. Take some of those things and you give it to God and say, look, I'm giving this to you. Do your thing. Take it, write it on the paper, and then write down some solutions to those things. Because now you're just clearing this space. And then you'll start to just see like how you just feel good. Again, feel good because you're not bogged down with so much stuff because you took it and you might have put it on, like I said, you're giving it to God and releasing it and stepping in faith. You're writing it on a piece of paper. And when you're writing it on that paper, now it's off of your head and you've attached a solution and maybe even got into the flow of creating a plan. Now it doesn't need to occupy that space in your head. And that, my friends, that is being kind to yourself because you freaking deserve it. You deserve it. Another big one is getting enough sleep. That I'm guilty of that. Like I don't get that great quality sleep. I'll be up all night and up early. Sometimes my mind is racing. Most of the time it's not. It's just my body is just set in that sense. But at the same time, I know it doesn't feel good because I'll get to around like 1, 2 p.m. and I start to feel like I'm crashing because I've been up or went to bed late and then up at like between 5 and 6, and then being productive. Boom, do my morning routine, my whole flow, my whole Zen stuff, and then boom, I'm in the midst of everything. And then by 1 o'clock, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm just like crashing, but because I'm not really getting good quality sleep. So I definitely say if you want to be kinder to yourself and into your body is to allow yourself whatever you feel like the decent amount of sleep and good quality sleep that you need to really just function. And so, I definitely highly suggest you create a nice routine, and that could be a morning routine or it could be a bedtime routine. It is just really kind of setting your day and then like also ending your day, in that sense, and just winding down and just being super nice to yourself and giving yourself all these things so that way until you can then go out and give so much more to the world. So that's what I got for you guys. Be kind to yourself just like you be kind to other people, right? Because you deserve that shit too. All right, guys. Really until next time. Oh yeah, I forgot to put this at the beginning with my quick announcements. I am back taking readings. I took a little bit of a break and wasn't taking on any new clients and was only just working with like a handful of existing ones. And now I am starting to put myself back out into that world. And so you can still go to my website at www.healalignedglow.com and just click on the sessions and click on the one that says intuitive guidance sessions. So that is where I am taking readings there. Also, next retreat is going to be in Nassau, Bahamas, and it is February 2nd through the 6th of 2023. You can message me on Instagram at Mindset Slayer and just say send me the info on the Bahamas retreat. And you can also email me, Tisha at healalignedglow.com. Okay, for real. Again, until next time. Love you guys. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Seeing with Your Soul. If something you heard resonated with you, feel free to rate, review, and share with others. If you are looking to go deeper, you can connect with Tisha Michelle on Instagram at Mindset Slayer or visit www.healingalignedglow.com.